Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Star Wars Stormtrooper Day 2. So I literally only got Star Wars last time. And I'm probably not going to get very much today either because we have plans to take my nibblings to sushi at a little afternoon, I think. So we'll see. I got my new prescription in and yeah. We'll see how long I can cross-stitch.
Alright, so I finally got devoted back.
I am devoted.
Yes, you are. You're devoted to me. It's true. We finally get to hear a voice that isn't mine. Did you miss everybody?
Yes, I missed them terribly.
You're really not convincing.
Why not?
They've been watching quail videos.
Yeah,
so
gotta love quail. Sir Belvedere Dermont the Third.
The first.
The third.
The first.
The third.
The first.
He's the
The
third.
first.
No, the
He's the
third.
first.
The third.
I called him the third. As the person who finished his name, I immediately corrected it to the first. Because that's what he is. The first. Belvedere Dermont the first. Not the third. The babies. The next group of them will be the second. One will be the second. And then the next group of babies, one of them will be the third. Yes. I'm glad you agreed. You did. So, we're moving on. Devoted said we need to talk about the Studio Ghibli films. And we've seen a few recently because we saw them at the movie theater. Because Studio Ghibli has been doing a little marathon where they're releasing old movies in the theater.
I think they do this yearly, in fact, where
Regal that's what Christine made it sound like.
Play basically once a month. They'll pick 4 days, and they'll do 2 days of the dub and 2 days of the sub of each Ghibli movie, or most of them.
The popular ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we watched my favorite Studio Ghibli film growing up, Castle in the Sky. And I don't have to look it up because this movie meant so much to me. It was my favorite. I know the main characters are Shita and Patsu.
Yep.
And they go to Laputa.
Yep.
Which Laputa is harsh insult in Spanish.
Yes.
And they didn't know that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Laputa and Laputa do not sound the same.
Yes.
So hopefully the Spanish speakers, when they translated it, made it something else.
They might have. They're usually smart enough to not do stupid stuff like that. But we'll see.
One would hope. I mean, we won't see. I'm not going to watch it in Spanish. I don't know Spanish anymore.
Fine, we don't have to check.
Oh, you're actually going to just Google
No,
it?
I wasn't going to.
I thought you were actually going to watch
I
it.
thought maybe.
So, we went to the movies, and it was the first time David had ever seen this movie. And when we walked out, he said confidently that it was his new favorite Studio Ghibli film.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slept on it, and he was still saying it was his favorite for like a good month. And then he was like,
well, I've watched
maybe it's like tied with Princess Mononoke.
Because we rewatched Mononoke as well. But yes, no, it's very, 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 very good.
And it is the first one Studio Ghibli did under the Studio Ghibli name.
Yeah, and if you've ever watched Ghibli stuff, it can be very wavy in its pacing and whatnot, but this one is pretty much exciting throughout the entirety of the movie. Either there's fun interactions between the characters, or there's action scenes, or there's crazy stuff, or there's always something going on that kind of keeps you entertained, and as always, it's gorgeous.
Miyazaki knows how to do his job.
Yeah, the characters are really, really fun in a lot of little and serious ways. Like, they're wacky in a bunch of ways that's just fun to see. And then, of course, there's the more serious stuff towards the end, because it shares a lot of its DNA with Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. So there's similar... everything Miyazaki does is anti-war.
War.
But, this
Some of them are harder with that message than others.
Yeah. And in this case, it's...
It was pretty overt. At the end, because the dude wanted to declare war on everybody.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the brief synopsis is actually kind of just there that like there's this supposed floating castle somewhere in the world because it's sort of a lost technology world and that like things used to be different, but now we all live over here and over there and they're used to...
We don't live on floating islands
We don't
anymore.
live on magic floating islands and yada yada yada.
We don't have robots.
Yeah. So because of that, they have... well, not because of that, but, you know, just someone's looking for an item that makes you float, basically, or fly.
And it shows you the location of the island.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like a magic compass slash floating thing. And that's the MacGuffin that starts off the whole story. And, you know, there's a variety of people who are trying to get the MacGuffin. Some are more fun than others. Like there's there's the serious bad guys, and then there's the pirates, who are closer to One Piece pirates than normal pirates that you might expect.
They're adorable, and I love them. They are to be treasured at all
They
costs.
are a, maybe, I don't know if it's a Miyazaki trope or if it's like a specific Japanese trope, but it's a style I've seen of like, oh, they're all a family and yada yada yada, and like there's that great scene like just in the first town of like where the whole village comes out to help, and then the two guys basically do what, you know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would do years later of like, you know, a flex off.
And then, you know, the one dude busts his buttons on his shirt, and his wife is just like, I hope you know I'm not going to mend that.
Yeah. It's got a lot of attitude and character that makes it feel, you know, this is kind of like the prototype in some ways for like Zelda, because it's very lighthearted at moments, but it still has more serious things going on in the overarching world. It's a sort of fallen technology, like, especially the more modern Zeldas, the most recent two. Like, oh, this used to be a thing, but it's not anymore, and just all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, is Goodwood Watch, high rec.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Like, Howl's Moving Castle is still #1 for me. I think Princess Mononoke is 2, and then Castle in the Sky is 3.
Yeah,
I feel pretty confident in that list for
hard
me.
for me to juggle some of them because there's like Totoro holds a special place, but it's a totally different style of movie.
Oh yeah,
and I watch it with a different goal in mind, so I don't like comparing things across goals. Like, what's your favorite movie between this horror movie and this child's movie? Like, it's hard to
compare them.
But of their mainstream stuff, like this is like right up there with Mononoke. It would just probably depend on the day of which one I'd pick is better.
Mm-hmm. He has flip-flopped a lot between those two.
Yeah, they're both very, very good. To the point it's not worth saying which one's better. Like,
yeah, you should just see both of them.
Yeah.
Because it's worth it.
I think part of that's just because, again, it's the pacing thing. Mononoke is actually slower paced and much more serious, and that it's not like trying to be dark, but at the same time it's not as whimsical and funny. There's not a lot of like ha 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 moments. There's a little bit
it's
of
a lot darker,
yeah, but it's more of a this is a serious story that we're telling, and here's these things, and like, oh my gosh, look at that, or oh my gosh, look at that. Whereas this one just is so, like, Porco Rosso, which is one we'll also be discussing, had a lot of whimsy in it at moments and silliness, even though there was sort of a major theme going on, like it was still funny and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think Princess Mononoke had like any funny.
There's a little bit, mainly with the women and their husbands at the Iron Town.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's
those are like tiny little sprinkles at in little small bits versus throughout all of Castle in the Sky. There's something you're gonna be giggling and laughing at. Same with Porco Rosso, like.
Yeah.
It is a lot more lighthearted in tone, on average, than Princess Mononoke is.
Yeah. So,
10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Castle in the Sky is
5
amazing.
out of 5 for me as well. I love the main characters, the two protagonists. They're kind of
They're both really fun, and they're so cute. Like, they are completely believable.
Yeah.
They were, what, 11, 12? Something like that. They were young, and their interactions were just so cute. Like, me, as the person who, I don't care, I love it, I ship it. I shipped it. But it never felt like they were forcing it. Like, their, chemistry, if you can say that, was just so genuine. And you could tell they were friends. Like, whether they were ever going to grow up and get together or not, it didn't matter. They were always going to be friends.
Yeah.
And I really like a genuine friendship in my movies.
Yeah.
It's not forced. It's adorable and I loved it.
Totes Dorbs.
Totes adorbs.
I don't know if I have much else to say about it. Do you want to jump to another, or?
We have like 3 minutes.
So we have plenty of time to discuss Howl's Moving Castle.
I will stab you
Lizardlea's
in the
house.
tongue.
Stuff happens at the end.
I'll kill you. It just escalated so hard.
Did it really?
Or do we want to talk more about Castle in the Sky?
No, I don't know what else there's to say, because, like, I could spoil more of the movie, but I think it's worth leaving unspoiled. Like, just...
I mean, I already mentioned there are robots.
Yeah, but just in, like, the first few
I
minutes...
love the robots.
The car and the train and the initial chase and all that.
The airship?
Yeah.
There are airships.
Yes. It's just, like, it's such a good example of how to pace things and how to... Like, it's so whimsical and wacky, but still fun. And it's that sort of vibe that, like, I feel like I'd almost forgotten movies could have. Because, like, you know, it's like I'm so used to...
Go, go.
Or them just being boring, like, oh, yeah, I can't be interested by this kind of stuff anymore. It's not serious enough. Like, no, you can be. It's just people aren't doing it well, you know? And then you watch something like this and you're like, yeah, this is great. You know, it's fun, it's energetic, it's fast, it's cool. It just needs to be done right, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I love this movie so much. And the music in this movie.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, I haven't seen this movie since before we started dating. So it's been 6+ years for me. Probably more, honestly. But as soon as the introduction started, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. You know, like, I was tapping my fingers to the beat with it. And then Patsu gets out his trumpet. I think it's called a trumpet. I'm not sure. I don't know instruments. He was playing it, and I was like, I remember this. Yeah. The closing theme, like, I don't know if Miyazaki's involved or not, or if they, like, always get the same guy who does the music, but that one, I was about in tears a couple times just because of the music, you know, like, I was getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, it just, that is a powerful piece of music to me, one that... There are no words. It's just instruments, and it still makes you feel something.
Yeah.
And Castle in the Sky 100% does that. Oof. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
She does that. It's a neat trick.
I love Castle in the Sky. I keep almost saying Castlevania, which I do love Castlevania. But that's a show, and we're talking about a movie. So there's no fair comparison.
That's kind of true, yeah.
Yes.
There's not much else you can...
You get so much more time in a TV show than you do in a movie. It's not fair. But, I do remember, I do kind of want to call this out. There are a group of guys who basically fall in love with Sheeta. And as a kid, it was, like, super cute. As an adult, I was just like, eh. And, like, none of them were creepy about it. None of them were gross or anything. But it was still kind of just like, she's too young for you, bruh. You need to wait 10 years.
There's definitely some, a few of those moments, but
But no,
it's not as like, it's not the sort of thing where like it's legitimate. Like I don't know. There's other things where you watch it and you're like, ooh, this really doesn't age right. Whereas this, it's like I don't think it was ever intended to be skeevy.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just,
no, I don't think so either. Like especially because the whole point of it was their mom was like, oh. She's just like me. That's how I was when I was a young girl. You guys need to fall in love with a girl like that.
Yeah.
So I think part of it was just, they only live with their family. They don't really interact with other people to the point that it's like, well, I'm used to mom. If I marry someone who's like mom, and she's really pretty, that'll work. I'll be set for life.
Yeah.
Like, it was cute. I thought it was cute. But I did want to mention it because, some people do have issues with that. Great movie. Like I said, 10 out of 10. You need to see it.
And that is the end of Star Wars Stormtrooper Day 2. I only got 1 hour and 5 minutes of footage. It's literally just the edges of his helmet. I'm really tired. I started yesterday. It got really, really busy. Continued today. It's been really, really busy. So I'm just calling it here. Also, I don't really know what my hair's doing. It's like... And then this side is tame, so it's... Whoosh. Maybe I'll put this one in real time. We'll see how I'm feeling when editing comes around. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Star Wars Stormtrooper Day 2. Stormtrooper. I don't know if I said it normal right. I need to just redo this.